Amanda Hughes is riding a motorcycle in a wedding gown, a marvel to behold for the onlookers. Her best friend Allie Johnson is waiting for her at the entrance of her wedding gown shop, made for you, with love. They exchange pleasantries, and Allie leaves. After opening her shop, Amanda gives feedback to a client who needed her gown tested on whether it would withstand being on the bike. She promises to make a few alterations after the test drive, and begins to serve other customers. Later, Amanda discusses the details of Allie's gown, who is getting married soon. Amanda modifies secondhand gowns and gives them a designer look while considering the bride's preferences. She helps make them happy on their special day without spending so much on the gown. While they work on Allie's dress, Allie seems concerned about Amanda's dating life. Amanda is evasive, but Allie reminds her that she has been single for 2 years and that it is time she put herself back out there. Amanda attends a client's wedding and notices Keith, a gentleman moved to tears by the vows. The wedding photographer, James, does not seem swayed by the lovebirds or their promises. At the reception, Keith and Amanda introduce themselves while having a drink. Keith gives Amanda his number, but Amanda insists that she is currently not open to dating. Still, she takes the number written on the napkin. Amanda then bumps into James, who discloses that he used to be a wildlife photographer. James's opinions about weddings are unpleasant, and he is shocked to discover that Amanda is the gown designer. At that moment, the bride invites Amanda for the tossing of the bouquet. Amanda is hesitant, but ends up tripping and falling, with the bouquet landing on her lap. Well, it's safe to say she's next. Afterward, James finds Amanda's sketchbook with her business card inside. The next day, Amanda opens her mailbox at the shop and is disheartened to learn about her rent increase. She has a new client, Teresa, who seems to have very conflicting suggestions about what she wants her dress to look like. It should be somewhere between conventional and sexy. Wedding Refined is a wedding magazine that showcases everything weddings. James is trying to have some of his work featured, but according to one of the editors, Renee, his photos are too basic and lack the appeal for their target audience. Meanwhile, Amanda is working on a dress when Allie reminds her to call Keith. Amanda brushes it off and goes to attend to a door ring alert. James is dropping by the shop to give Amanda her sketchbook. He is curious about Amanda's work, but she lightheartedly asks him to leave. However, James takes a few photos of the dresses and posts them on his Instagram. A few moments later, James receives a call from Renee, who has seen his social media photos and is impressed. She tells him that Wedding Refined is happy to do a profile of Amanda's shop for next month's issue. James runs the idea through Amanda, and she is not interested. James explains that the feature would expose her to a wide range of clients, but she still doesn't budge. Allie realizes Amanda may never call Keith, so she forces her hand. She dials Keith's number on Amanda's phone, and Amanda is forced to talk to Keith. Keith and Amanda end up planning for a first date, and Allie is happy that she's back to dating. James pops in with donuts, but Amanda is still uninterested in working with Wedding Refined. Despite being turned down, James patiently waits outside for Amanda to give him a response. Before closing, Amanda checks the inventory and discovers she is not making any profits. She then steps out and finds James still waiting for her. Despite James informing her that she stands to make a lot of money from the feature, she still walks away. Early the following day, James waits for Amanda outside her shop. Well, you know what they say about patience? This time, Amanda listens to him but negotiates for more money and for James only to publish the photos she will allow. James leaves happily and goes to see his friend Sean Anderson, who is a realtor. James has been trying to buy a house for a long time, but always finds fault in all the houses Sean shows him. Later that evening, Allie calms Amanda down before she goes on her date with Keith. Keith, an attorney and a foodie, drops some dry humor throughout the date, but Amanda sits through it. They also share their past failed love, with Amanda disclosing that she was once left at the altar. This changed her perspective about love and life, and she has since taken a break from dating. They seem to have started well, even planning for a second date. The next day, James is ready and eager to start his shoot. However, he gets very few chances to take photos and ends up being Amanda's invaluable assistant. Allie and Amanda also take pleasure in teasing him back and forth, just so he does not get to do his job. Keith also drops by at some point, bringing Amanda some flowers. Thereafter, Amanda and James continue to work till late. James notices Amanda's poorly thought-out website and encourages her to put more effort into it, as it might attract more customers. After the close of business, they head out for a drink, where they talk more about themselves. Amanda discloses that her mother inspired her to be a designer, while James shares his wildlife photography journey. He quit to be with his fiancée, who later left him. Amanda then shares how her business is not about profit, but helping brides on their special day. James is showing Amanda some of his wildlife photography when she receives a call from her landlord. The landlord tells her she has a week to raise the rent. A new client, Katie, and her mom also have conflicting opinions on how the dress should be. Amanda walks them through a compromise that leaves both parties satisfied. James is delighted to see Amanda do what she loves and tries as hard as he can to get a few photos. Allie then walks in crying and informs Amanda that her ailing father is set to have surgery. There are slim chances of survival from the procedure, and Allie wants to have her father walk her down the aisle before the surgery. Amanda promises to do her best to get her dress ready by the next day, which is the new wedding date. Consequently, Amanda and James work all night to get it done. Ultimately, Amanda gets exhausted, but Jamie assures her he will be there for her until the end. The following day, Allie is overjoyed to find her dress ready with all her details captured. But there is a problem. Allie has not found a venue for the wedding. Well, James knows a guy who sells mansions and can be hired for events. Problem solved, right? No, there is another problem. The chaplain is unavailable, but worry not because James is a licensed officiant. With James around, nothing will derail the wedding. Throughout the ceremony, James and Amanda exchange adoring glances, even though Keith is sitting right next to Amanda. James even seems slightly jealous at the reception when he sees Amanda dancing with Keith. Amanda arrives early to work the following day and dances while wearing a client's gown to test whether the bride can comfortably dance in it. James walks in on her and joins in on the dance. The cheerful music then transitions to slow, affectionate music, and James asks her for a dance. They dance passionately in each other's arms, like they have waited for this moment all their lives. Beautiful as it may be, the moment is interrupted by a call that informs Amanda about a bid on her best dresses. She gets a low offer, and James offers to help if she has financial problems. She declines the help and brushes him off. Later that day, James is taken aback when he sees Amanda dressed up for her date with Keith. Keith then picks Amanda up for their date, and one cannot help but notice the envy in James's eyes. During the date, Amanda notices how different Keith's perspective is from hers. Amanda treasures her job, but all Keith seems to care about is food. Elsewhere, James goes through the photos of Amanda's work he has taken so far. At Amanda's shop the following day, James bumps into Amanda's wedding dress, which is hidden in the storage room. There seems to be a story behind the dress, but Amanda is unwilling to let anyone in. James then notes that most of the photos he has taken are generic and plain, and do not tell the story of Amanda and her shop. To help Amanda feel comfortable and open up, James allows Amanda to question him. James discloses that his biggest regret is letting his divorce make him unhappy. Amanda, now relaxed, says she opened her shop after a heartbreak, where she decided to do what she loved most. James continues to document as Amanda attends to her clients, capturing her putting all her effort and love towards her work. James even wears a gown to get her to cheer up, which helps him take beautiful photos of Amanda. Later that evening, when Amanda seems overwhelmed, they both step to get some hot cocoa. They then playfully tease each other on the way back, and they seem to be warming up to each other. The next day, Allie informs Amanda that her father's surgery was a success. Allie then insinuates that James might be a good match for Amanda, but she brushes it off. James notices that Amanda wants to sell her dress. Knowing how dear she holds that dress, James offers to help, but Amanda refuses to accept any form of financial help. The photo shoot project has now been finalized, and it is time for James to leave. As he packs up, he discovers just how deep Amanda's financial problems go. He, therefore, reaches out to Allie and informs her that Amanda might need help. James then receives a call from Renee, who informs him that Wedding Refined loved Amanda's work and is willing to license her photos for advertisers. She would also be used as their cover story. Amanda instantly rejects these new terms. She doesn't want her photos used by advertisers for a cause she does not believe in. James urges her to take the deal because she direly needs the money, but Amanda declines. Allie then comes in and confronts her for declining help, yet her friends are willing to look out for her. Amanda is angry at James for talking to Allie about her problems and consequently turns down the deal. Amanda does not attend the meeting, and James meets Renee alone. James continues his photography work, and Amanda starts selling off some of her items to stay afloat. Sean advises James to go after Amanda since he seemed happy when they were working together. Meanwhile, Amanda ends things with Keith amicably, as they both realize they are incompatible. James looks for Amanda later and informs her that he did not take the deal. He also encourages her not ever to change her stand for any amount of money. He gives her a flash drive containing all the photos he took and leaves. Allie then comes in, and Amanda divulges that she is considering closing her shop. Allie says that Amanda's work inspires many people, and all she needs to do is ask for help. Allie had already spread the word to a few other brides. Amanda is met by a couple of women who are willing to donate their gowns to support her business. Overwhelmed with emotions by all the love and support, Amanda takes the next step and gets a small loan to kickstart her business. She also goes to look for James and finds him officiating another wedding. James is dumbfounded to see her and even stops presiding over the wedding for a few minutes. After the wedding, Amanda thanks James for the photos, which have helped her boost her business significantly. Before she could say another word, James kisses her passionately, with the people in attendance cheering them on. 1 year later, Amanda's business seems to be flourishing and doing well. Amanda and James's wedding plans are also underway.